breastfeeding and going back to work.
It's hard.
It's hard. Welcome back to our 3-part series. Breastfeeding and when to go back to work is our 3rd video in this installment. Breastfeeding sucks. When to get ready, when to put the milk in the fridge, how to get started. Stay tuned. Have you ever counted your ounces? Welcome back. I am Mandy. Welcome to my channel. This is the Where Busy People Prepare to Birth Boldly channel, but today it's boobies and breastfeeding. And this is my dear friend, Kendra. She's an IBCLC, a mother of 2. She's a postpartum nurse. We're both currently breastfeeding. 10 months?
9.
9 months?
9 today.
Oh, and it's your birthday on Friday. Shout out to Kendra in the comments. Wish her happy birthday.
The big 30.
Oh man, that's big.
Yeah, that's big.
And I'm breastfeeding, I don't know how old she is. She's like 18 months old. She's like a toddler. So I was grilling Kendra, what is the question that you are asking most? And she said, by far, how to breastfeed successfully and go back to work. So listen up to these 3 gems that Kendra has about being successful breastfeeding for 1 year, even when you work, because
it can be done, but it's hard. It can be done as long as you do it right.
Do it right. Okay, so how exactly do you prepare to go back to work? When do you start preparing? How do you get the milk? I can't, it was so hard to wrap my head around that.
I think the biggest thing is, and this will touch a little bit on one of our other videos as far as pumping too soon.
Right.
We don't want you to start pumping so early that your body thinks you've got 2 babies.
Okay, so I get a lot of I have my pump, should I bring it into the hospital?
Yes. If you want to see how to use it, fine. I'm happy to show you how to use your pump in the hospital. Aside from that, no. Even if your baby's not feeding well in the hospital and we need to start you pumping, we're going to bring you a hospital grade pump to start using. Okay. And really, the pump is not going to give you so much in terms of volume to feed your baby with because that colostrum is so thick. It will stimulate if baby is not doing that job. But otherwise, we can get a lot from hand expressing colostrum. Okay. And some studies have been done recently that show that if you hand express either alone or in addition to pumping in the hospital for whatever reason, that you did have increased volumes months down the road. So.
Oh, dang. Okay, so when you're talking colostrum, if you have to express it, hand expression is the best way. And I will link my favorite hand expression video down below. It's by far the best. That's what I show everyone in the hospital. So hand expression, so that's only if you're really concerned. That's not really if you're going back to work.
Correct.
So pump off unless you're specifically directed by a lactation consultant. Okay, so pump off for 3 to 4 weeks?
3 to 4 weeks, yep. Your supply typically has regulated by then. So it's a good time to start throwing in an extra, essentially, stimulation session in the morning. So my biggest advice is probably around that 3 to 4 week mark. Wake up in the morning. Your supply is greatest in the morning.
Right.
Wake up in the morning, feed your baby like you normally would.
Okay.
If by rare chance you're given the opportunity to take a hot shower, do that. Try to massage your breasts in the shower. Within that first hour from the feed, we would encourage you to try to throw in that pump session.
Oh, back it up. Let's redo, because this is what I needed when I was getting ready to go back to work. And we work 13-hour shifts in the hospital. So it is not like we can stop and go feed our babies, which is awesome, but we couldn't do that as moms. Okay, so in the morning, I'm going to feed my baby. Yep. My breasts are full. Yep. Feed my baby as long as she wants for her whole feeding, which is 25 minutes. Okay, so I feel now empty. Shower. That's a joke. She's full of jokes.
Yeah.
Hot shower.
It's rare, but if it happens, that's great.
Okay, strap the baby to the shower curtain. Take your shower. Massage. Then within the hour of nursing, pump.
Have your pump session.
Have my pump session.
Your full pump session. Your 15-minute pump session.
Empty. That's
going to drain the breast.
15-minute pump session to drain the breast within the hour of nursing and taking a shower. So the hot shower affects it. The massage affects it. If I wait too long, then it's going to affect baby's
next feeding.
Yes. So much math.
Yes. So typically the thought process is that is going to give you enough to put back for your stash after a feeding, and you're going to refill by baby's next feeding.
Okay, so I'm not going to be concerned she's not going to get enough. But what if I only get an ounce? Is it even worth it?
It is. It's absolutely worth it. Store it, stash it, whatever it be. Okay. If you have to you could start stashing and combine at later on periods. You can combine some of those.
Yeah, we will not even go so much math for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not taking the pump to the hospital unless I've been instructed because I'm going to hand express. Now I'm getting a morning pump session at about 1 month old. I'm putting all that, just adding it up, and I'm not going to stress about how much.
Right.
Because now I'm making even more than I need.
Right.
So do I have to do that every day?
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Because then my body is going to be like, do you need it? Do you not need it?
Every day. It's not enough to overstimulate you.
Okay.
But it is enough to start building that stash, which you will need, especially say you are only pumping an ounce. You're going to need more than an ounce to feed your baby. But you can piece that together later on.
Okay.
At least you'll have it. It's there. We can build the bottle however we need to later on.
Okay. So we'll worry about combining it later. What else do I need to think about or not think about as I'm at home nursing on demand? I want to nurse on demand and I want to exclusively breastfeed.
I think a lot of moms are concerned that when we start building that stash, they open their freezer and they stare at it. Look at how little my stash is. I only have this much and I'm going back to work in this many weeks. And is this even doable?
Yeah.
That stress alone is going to affect your supply.
Repeat that.
That stress alone is going to affect your supply.
So if you've counted your ounces, give me a hell yes. But stop.
Just stop.
Just stop counting the ounces.
Stop.
I'm getting goosebumps because...
Yeah. Because it happens. I've done it.
I've done it. I know friends who do
I
exactly.
have enough here to make this possible?
Yeah.
You know, I think I only have this many ounces, so should I stop breastfeeding now? Because I don't think I'm going to make it that far.
People ask that?
Yeah.
That's like the saddest thing.
Yeah. So don't do that. You know,
Okay.
we can worry about that later on.
Okay.
Just don't stop what you're doing in the meantime.
So breastfeed on demand, skin to skin.
As much as that, you can continue. I have a 9-month-old and we still do skin to skin.
Okay.
I don't know what it is, but I feel like after I have a day in bed with my baby, that hormone response, I feel like I've drastically increased my volumes in the next 24 hours.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
So maybe if you have like a few shifts in a row, you kind of prep for that by hibernating a little bit.
Yep. Before and after.
Before and after. Okay. So what you're saying is, even if you get to going back to work day, how much milk do you need when you start?
Not a lot. Because you are going to need enough for your first day back to work.
So that's not even 1,000 ounces.
Right. We're talking maybe 20 ounces.
Ounce
Okay,
an hour
that's doable.
Plus some.
Yeah.
Okay.
Think of it that way.
Okay.
You'll more than likely have a little bit more than that if you've been doing it daily in the weeks, months leading up to return to work. But aside from that, you know, a lot of moms think I've got to have this stash built for every day.
Yeah.
But it's really, you need it for that first day, maybe the first couple of days, because you're going to pump at work and replace those feedings. I will say not as many mamas respond the way they do for a pump, the way they do for baby.
Okay.
But pumping is, you've got to be committed. So though you may be busy, though it's a nuisance to go pump. I hate pumping.
Yeah.
You've got to do it.
I hate pumping.
You've got to do it.
Gosh.
Because if you stop, you know, you wouldn't stop feeding your baby at home.
Right.
But if you stop pumping at work, you're telling your body you don't need that milk.
Okay, so be consistent with pumping at work. Really do it. Okay, we'll talk more about like the details in another. That's a whole thing.
It is.
That's like a whole chapter of a book. You're saying that my milk can go up and down every week with the baby. So if I feel like maybe I'm not pumping enough, there are ways to get more.
Absolutely.
And not just think, oh, it's just going to go downhill from here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
These are so good. Kendra is full of like the best advice. This is such good advice, and we've both actually used this advice. We've learned from the bad advice that we got, and we're sharing the good advice with you. I hope this helps. We are in your corner. We know you can work and breastfeed.
It can be done.
It's hard.
It is hard.
And I don't think enough people are saying, oh no, I did it, but it was hard as hell.
Yeah.
It was hard, and it's a commitment, but we know you can do it. And with the right support, you can do anything.
Absolutely.
You can do anything. Your baby's going to keep growing. That's right. Support, reach out. There's online groups. our lactation consultants. Find other people in your workplace that are pumping, help each other out. That's what we're here to do, to help you. We're in your corner. We believe in you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the likes if you learned something. Thank you for sharing with a pregnant friend or breastfeeding friend or anybody. Thank you. The more people learn about this, the easier it's going to be to change the culture around breastfeeding. The easier it is for our daughters to be able to breastfeed their daughters. I post something every week. I will see you next week. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so that you're notified. Bye.
Bye.
Breastfeeding Sucks, our Breastfeeding Sucks Real Talk series. Disclaimer, this is not medical advice. We cannot give you medical advice because this is a camera and we are not one-on-one with you. We don't know your specific situation or your baby's specific situation. So this is just talk advice, what we've gone through, what we've seen in our experience. If you have medical concerns or questions, ask your lactation consultant, ask your pediatrician, ask the people in your area. Also, we know every baby is different, and your baby is different than our babies, is different than all the babies we've ever seen before. So this is not specific advice on your specific situation. We know that we are not covering the entire scope of what could be going on. We are even having difficulty with limiting this just to a conversation because we know that there are so many what ifs and everybody is different. So this has been a challenge for us to just keep it simple and keep it short, but do realize that there are so many components to breastfeeding. We cannot cover them all in this video. If you want more information, there are links below to contact us, and in the future we will have the most awesome breastfeeding course for you with more information jam-packed for other situations. We still can't cover everything. So you need a really great lactation consultant that you trust. Keep shopping around, keep interviewing them. You will find one. There are some that are amazing out there, just like Kendra. And I hope that you find them in your location and it doesn't have to be by Skype, but that's an option also. So good luck.